Hello everyone. Today's topic is continuation of key points on breast. I am Dr. M. Roshan. What is RECIST? That is Response Evaluation Criteria in Solid Tumors. It is used to report response to neoadjuvant systemic therapy. There are four types of response. One is complete response when the lesion is not detectable on clinical palpation and imaging. Second is partial response when there is more than or equal to 30% reduction in maximal diameter of the lesion. Third is stable disease when there is less than 30% reduction in maximal diameter of the lesion. Fourth is progressive disease when there is more than or equal to 20% increase in maximal diameter of the lesion. Indelible India ink is applied on the excised specimen surfaces. There should be no tumor cells on the cut edge or inked margins of the tumor for invasive cancer for complete clearance. In patients with ductal carcinoma in situ, a minimum of 2 mm margin is considered safe. Skin and nipple sparing mastectomy is an option in ductal carcinoma in situ and early breast cancers where mastectomy is indicated. Tumor should be more than 1 cm away from the skin and 2 cm away from the nipple. In breast conservation surgery, tumor is removed with a 1 cm margin. Breast conservation therapy includes breast conservation surgery and radiotherapy. Contraindications to breast conservation surgery are 1. BRCA mutation carriers, 2. Multicentric tumor, 3. Diffuse microcalcifications, 4. Large tumor to breast ratio, 5. 2 times positive surgical margins after re-excision, 6. Previous breast or chest wall radiation, 7. SLE, scleroderma or other collagen vascular disease due to high risk of radiation reaction. 8th, ankylosing spondylitis. 9th, severe orthopnea. In wide local excision of up to 20%, primary closure can be done. If volume loss is more than 20% or unfavorable breast to tumor ratio, it requires oncoplastic procedure. There are two types of oncoplastic procedure. 1. Volume displacement, that is level 1. 2. Volume replacement, that is level 2, using a distant or local flap. In distant metastasis, cancer cells may be shed directly into systemic venous blood to seed pulmonary circulation via axillary and intercostal veins, into vertebral column via Batson's plexus of veins. Common sites of distant metastasis in order of frequency are bone, lung, pleura, soft tissues, liver. What is multicentricity and multifocality? Multicentricity is when there is second breast cancer outside the breast quadrant of primary cancer or at least 4 centimeters away. Multifocality is when the second breast cancer is within the same quadrant of primary or within 4 centimeters of it. Paget's disease is differentiated from pagetoid intraepithelial melanoma based on presence of A. S100 antigen immunostaining in melanoma, B. Carcinoembryonic antigen immunostaining in Paget's disease. The incidence of invasive lobular carcinoma is 10%. Histopathology of lobular carcinoma. Carcinoma cells are arranged in single file orientation, that is Indian file pattern. Over 90% of lobular cancers express estrogen receptor. In FNA biopsy, air dried and 95% ethanol fixed microscopic sections are prepared for analysis. Prognostic and predictive biomarkers and biologic targets for breast cancer include 1. Steroid hormone receptor pathway, 2. Growth factors and growth factor receptors, HER2/neu, EGFR, transforming growth factor, platelet-derived growth factor, insulin-like growth factor family. Third, indices of proliferation such as PCNA, proliferating cell nuclear antigen, and Ki67. Indices of angiogenesis, VEGF, and the angiogenesis index. Fifth, mTOR, the mammalian target of rapamycin signaling pathway. Sixth, tumor suppressor genes such as p53. 7. Cell cycle cyclins and cyclin dependent kinases. 8th, proteasome. 9th, COX2 enzyme. 10th, peroxisome proliferator activated receptors. 11th, indices of apoptosis and apoptosis modulators such as BCL2 and Bax to BCL2 ratio. HER2 is a member of ERB-B family of growth factor receptors. PCNA is a nuclear protein whose expression increases in G1 phase of cell cycle, reaches its maximum at G1S interphase, decreases through G2. There are 4 phases in cell cycle. G1 is for growth, S is for DNA synthesis, G2 is for preparation for mitosis, M is for mitosis. PCNA and Ki67 expression are positively correlated with 1. p53 overexpression, 2. High S phase fraction, 3. Aneuploidy, 4. High mitotic index, 5. High histologic grade. They are negatively correlated with estrogen receptor content. BCL2 is the only oncogene that acts by inhibiting apoptosis rather than by directly increasing cellular proliferation. Overexpression of BCL2 and decrease in Bax to BCL2 ratio correlate with 1. High histology grade, 2. Presence of axillary lymph node mets, 3. Reduced disease-free and overall survival rates. Gene expression assays are for assessment of prognosis and for prediction of response to therapy. The Oncotype DX is a 21 gene RT-PCR based assay and has been approved for use in newly diagnosed patients with node negative ER positive breast cancer. The MammaPrint assay is a 70 gene expression profile. This is used to assess the risk of distant metastasis. MammaPrint is FDA approved for use in stage 1 or stage 2 node negative, ER positive or ER negative breast cancer to identify high or low risk of recurrence. Next is sentinel lymph node biopsy. It is used to assess regional lymph nodes in women with early breast cancers who are clinically node negative by physical examination and imaging studies. It is identified by 1. Injection of blue dye, that is patent blue or methylene blue, and radioisotope technetium 99M labeled albumin or sulfur colloid or antimony. Second, fluorescent dyes, fluorescein or indocyanine green. Combination of fluorescein and methylene blue yields more than 90% identification. Indocyanine green 95 to 100% identification. Dye may be injected into 1. Peritumoral tissue, 2. Periareolar, 3. Subareolar, 4. Intradermal plane. All lymph nodes with more than 10% of ex vivo count of hottest node and blue lymph nodes are sent for histological confirmation. Histological confirmation is done by 1. Frozen section analysis, 2. Touch imprint cytology, 3. Molecular methods. These methods detect a gene expression of cytokeratin 19 or mammaglobin by RT-PCR. Frozen section evaluation of sentinel lymph nodes has a false negative rate of 10 to 12%. SLNB is contraindicated in inflammatory breast cancer, T4 disease, history of previous breast or chest wall surgery, breast scarring due to burns, radiotherapy, biopsy proven metastasis, DCIS without mastectomy, prior axillary surgery. SLN dissection is safe in pregnancy when performed with radioisotope alone. In modified radical mastectomy, pectoralis minor muscle is removed in Petty or Madden. Pectoralis minor muscle is retracted in Auchincloss. Pectoralis minor muscle is divided but not removed in Scanlon modifications. Skin sparing mastectomy involves mastectomy, preservation of breast skin envelope, removal of nipple areola complex. In wide local excision, 1 cm margin clearance is given. Level 1 oncoplasty is volume displacement technique which involves dual plane mobilization, the dermoglandular plane and the plane between breast parenchyma and pectoralis muscle. Level 2 oncoplasty is done in resection of more than 20% of breast volume. Next is axillary lymph node dissection. Indications are A. For staging, local disease control in axillary lymph node positive tumors which are clinically or biopsy proven. B. 3 or more sentinel lymph nodes that are positive for macrometastasis. Level 1 and 2 lymph nodes are routinely removed. Level 3 dissection is reserved in enlarged level 1 and 2 lymph nodes. Breast reconstruction is by two ways. One is immediate by silicone gel breast implants, autologous tissue. Second, delayed, which is done 6 to 12 months after completion of adjuvant treatments. Tissue flaps used for breast reconstruction: latissimus dorsi flap, transverse rectus abdominis myocutaneous flap, deep inferior epigastric perforator free tissue transfers. What is targeted SLNB? A metal clip or permanent India ink is applied to a positive node prior to neoadjuvant systemic therapy. During surgery after neoadjuvant systemic therapy, node containing clip or India ink is removed along with SLNB. What are the indications for radiotherapy? 1. Locally advanced breast cancers, T3, T4, N1, N2, N3 disease. 2. Following breast conservation surgery. 3rd, after mastectomy if tumor size is more than or equal to 5 centimeters, skin or chest wall involvement, lymphovascular invasion, grade 3 tumors. B. Axillary lymph node positive for metastasis. Dose of radiotherapy after breast conservation surgery: 45 to 50.4 gray with or without a boost in 25 fractions, or 40 to 42.5 gray in 15 or 16 fractions, that is hypofractionation. Indications for APBI, that is accelerated partial breast irradiation, are: 1. Women 50 years or older, T1 disease, negative resected margins with a margin width of more than or equal to 2 mm, invasive ductal carcinoma, no lymphovascular invasion, ER positive, BRCA negative and sentinel node negative tumors. 2. Women 50 years or older, low risk DCIS screen detected, low or intermediate nuclear grade, tumor size less than or equal to 2.5 centimeters, negative resected margins, width of more than or equal to 3 millimeters. It is delivered twice daily for 5 days. APBI is delivered in an abbreviated fashion and at a lower total dose compared with the standard course of 5 to 6 weeks of radiation. Astro guidelines for APBI: women age 60 years or older with a unifocal T1 ER positive tumor with no lymphovascular invasion and margin clearance of at least 2 millimeters. Chemotherapy regimens: 1. CMF, cyclophosphamide, methotrexate, 5-fluorouracil. 2. Anthracycline based CAF. A is for adriamycin or doxorubicin. CEF. E is for epirubicin. Third, taxane based docetaxel, paclitaxel. Adjuvant chemotherapy indications are: 1. For all invasive carcinomas more than 1 cm diameter. 2. Tumors more than 0.5 cm with poor prognostic factors. Presence of lymphomascular invasion, high grade, that is grade 3, HER2 new positive, triple negative breast cancers. Third, node positive tumors. Fourth, lymph node negative tumors of more than 5 millimeters. 5. Mortality greater than 10%. 6. Estimated distant relapse risk of greater than 15% at 10 years based on 21 gene recurrence score. Gene signature panels help in assessing benefit of chemotherapy in low risk tumors, that is ER positive, HER2 new negative and node negative tumors. Risk of recurrence scores ROR include: 1. Oncotype DX, that is 21 gene recurrence score. Second, ProSigna PAM50, that is breast cancer prognostic gene signature. Third is MammaPrint, that is 70 gene breast cancer recurrence assay. Most widely used ROR score is Oncotype DX, which classifies ROR score as low, moderate, high. Low is when the score is less than 18, moderate when the score is 19 to 30, high is when the score is more than 30. In luminal A tumors, chemotherapy may be avoided if Oncotype DX has a low risk score. In high clinical and genomic risk, anthracycline, that is epirubicin, or taxane based chemotherapy should be considered. In luminal B tumors, anthracycline and or taxane based therapy should be considered. In HER2 new positive tumors, trastuzumab plus pertuzumab with anthracycline plus taxane chemotherapy should be considered. In triple negative tumors, taxane plus anthracycline chemotherapy should be considered. Carboplatin based regimens are beneficial for aggressive tumors. TDM1 is a combination of trastuzumab and emnastin, is used in targeted delivery to HER2 positive cells. In stage 4 metastatic disease, oral low dose metronomic chemotherapy can be used, which has cytostatic and anti-angiogenic effects. Hereditary breast cancer has identifiable genetic mutation, whereas familial breast cancer is not attributable to any known genetic mutation. The incidence of hereditary breast cancer is 5 to 10%. Incidence of familial breast cancer is 20 to 30%. Breast cancers in BRCA1 are mostly triple negative breast cancers. Tamoxifen therapy currently is recommended only for women with 1. Gale relative risk of 1.66% or higher. 2. Age 35 to 59. 3. Women over age 60. 4. Women with a diagnosis of lobular carcinoma in situ or atypical ductal or lobular hyperplasia. Side effects of tamoxifen therapy: DVT 1.6 times as often, pulmonary emboli 3 times as often, endometrial cancer 2.5 times as often. Antiestrogens have defined toxicity such as bone pain, hot flashes, nausea, vomiting, fluid retention. Cataract surgery is more frequently performed in patients receiving tamoxifen. Tamoxifen therapy is also considered for women with ductal carcinoma in situ that is found to be ER positive. The goals of such therapy are to decrease the risk of an ipsilateral recurrence after breast conservation therapy for ductal carcinoma in situ and to decrease the risk of a primary invasive breast cancer or a contralateral breast cancer event. Indications for genetic risk evaluation: 1. Any age with known pathogenic or likely pathogenic variant in a cancer susceptibility gene within the family. 2. Breast cancer diagnosed at age less than or equal to 50 years. Third, triple negative breast cancer diagnosed at age less than or equal to 60 years. 4. 2 breast cancer primaries. 5. Breast cancer at any age with one or more relative with A. Breast cancer diagnosed less than or equal to 50 years. B. Invasive ovarian cancer. C. Male breast cancer. D. Pancreatic cancer. E. High grade or metastatic prostate cancer. Sixth, breast cancer at any age with two or more affected relatives. Seventh, male breast cancer. Eighth, personal or family history of three or more of the following: A. Breast cancer, sarcoma, adenocortical carcinoma, brain tumor, leukemia. B. Colon cancer, endometrial cancer, thyroid cancer, kidney cancer, dermatological manifestations, macrocephaly or hematomatous polyps of GIT. C. Lobular breast carcinoma, diffuse gastric cancer. D. Breast cancer, gastrointestinal cancer or hematomatous polyps, ovarian sex cord tumors, pancreatic cancer, testicular sertoli cell tumors or childhood skin pigmentation. What is Nottingham Prognostic Index? It determines prognosis following surgery. The equation is NPI equals 0.2 into S plus N plus G, where S stands for tumor size, N for involved lymph nodes, G for tumor grade. There are four categories. 1 excellent with a score of less than or equal to 2.4. 2 is good with a score of more than 2.4 but less than or equal to 3.4. 3 is moderate with a score of more than 3.4 but less than or equal to 5.4. 4 is poor with a score of more than 5.4. In situ breast cancer, stage 0. Current treatment options for lobular carcinoma in situ are observation, chemoprevention, bilateral total mastectomy. Use of tamoxifen as a risk reduction strategy should be considered in women with lobular carcinoma in situ. Women with ductal carcinoma in situ and evidence of extensive disease, that is more than 4 centimeters of disease or disease in more than one quadrant, require mastectomy. Women with limited disease, lumpectomy and radiation therapy are recommended. Adjuvant tamoxifen therapy is considered in ductal carcinoma in situ with ER positive disease. Early invasive breast cancer, that is stage 1, 2A or 2B, currently mastectomy with axillary staging and breast conserving surgery with axillary staging and radiation therapy are considered equivalent treatments for stages 1 and 2 breast cancer. Advanced local regional breast cancer, stage 3A or 3B, surgery is integrated with radiation therapy and chemotherapy. Preoperative neoadjuvant chemotherapy should be considered in locally advanced stage 3 breast cancer, especially those with estrogen negative tumors. Treatment pathways for stage 3A and stage 3B breast cancer. If the clinical stage is 3A and 3B, first is to work up for metastatic disease, then neoadjuvant systemic therapy is given, assess the clinical response. If there is complete or partial response, go ahead with surgical therapy and then adjuvant therapy and follow up. If there is no response to therapy, then consider alternative systemic therapy, then individualize local regional therapy. In both stages 3A and 3B, surgery is followed by adjuvant radiation therapy. Systemic chemotherapy and radiation therapy are indicated in the treatment of grossly involved internal mammary lymph nodes. Distant metastasis stage 4. Systemic chemotherapy is indicated in women with hormone receptor negative cancers, visceral crisis and hormone refractory metastasis. Bisphosphonates or anti-RANKL receptor activator of nuclear factor kappa B ligand agent, that is denosumab, is given in addition to chemotherapy or endocrine therapy in women with bone metastasis. In local regional recurrence, if previously treated with mastectomy, surgical resection and appropriate reconstruction is to be considered, and then chemotherapy and anti-estrogen therapy is given. Adjuvant radiation therapy is given if chest wall has not previously received radiation therapy. If previously treated with breast conservation procedure, then mastectomy and appropriate reconstruction to be done, and then chemotherapy and anti-estrogen therapy are considered. What is nipple areolar sparing mastectomy? It can be done if tumor located more than 2 to 3 centimeters from the border of areola, smaller breast size, minimal ptosis, no prior breast surgeries with periareolar incisions, BMI less than 40 kg per meter square, no active tobacco use, no prior breast irradiation, no evidence of collagen vascular disease. Current recommendations for stages 3A and 3B breast cancer are: A. Adjuvant radiation therapy to breast and supraclavicle lymph nodes after neoadjuvant chemotherapy and segmental mastectomy with or without axillary lymph node dissection. Adjuvant radiation therapy to chest wall and supraclavicle lymph nodes after neoadjuvant chemotherapy and mastectomy with or without axillary lymph node dissection. Adjuvant radiation therapy to chest wall and supraclavicular lymph nodes after segmental mastectomy or mastectomy with axillary lymph node dissection and adjuvant chemotherapy. After neoadjuvant chemotherapy, residual cancer burden RCB is categorized into 4 classes. RCB 0 or pathologic complete response, RCB 1, 2 and 3 is predictive of 10-year relapse-free survival with neoadjuvant chemotherapy in triple negative, ER positive and HER2 positive tumors. Hormone receptors are detectable in more than 90% of well-differentiated ductal and lobular invasive cancers. Chemotherapy administered during the first trimester of pregnancy, there is 12% risk of birth defects. In male breast cancer, DCIS makes up less than 15%, whereas infiltrating ductal carcinoma makes up more than 85%. This slide shows the difference between inflammatory breast cancer and non-inflammatory breast cancer. Number 1, dermal lymph vessel invasion is present with or without inflammatory changes in inflammatory breast cancer. In non-inflammatory breast cancer, inflammatory changes are present without dermal lymph vessel invasion. Number 2, cancer is not sharply delineated in inflammatory breast cancer. Cancer is better delineated in non-inflammatory breast cancer. Number 3, erythema and edema frequently involve more than 33% of the skin over the breast in inflammatory breast cancer. Erythema is usually confined to the lesion and edema is less extensive in non-inflammatory breast cancer. Number 4, lymph node involvement is present in more than 75% of cases in inflammatory breast cancer. Lymph nodes are involved in approximately 50% of the cases in non-inflammatory breast cancer. Number 5, distant metastases are more common at the initial presentation, 25% of cases in inflammatory breast cancer. Distant metastases are less common at presentation in non-inflammatory breast cancer. Next is sarcomas of the breast. Types are fibrosarcoma, malignant fibrous histiocytoma, liposarcoma, leiomyosarcoma, malignant schwannoma, rhabdomyosarcoma, osteogenic sarcoma, chondrosarcoma. There are two types of lymphomas in the breast. They are, number 1, occurs in women less than or equal to 39 years of age, frequently bilateral, and has histologic features of Burkitt's lymphoma. Number 2, seen in women more than or equal to 40 years of age and is usually of B cell type. Prognosis is favorable with 5 and 10 year survival rates of 74 and 51% respectively. Which women are at high lifetime risk of breast cancer? That is, risk criteria for breast MRI screening approximately 20 to 25% or greater are: 1, known BRCA1 and BRCA2 gene mutations; 2, first degree relative with BRCA1 or BRCA2 gene mutation but have not had genetic testing themselves; 3rd, lifetime risk of breast cancer of approximately 20 to 25% or greater; 4, radiation therapy to chest between ages 10 and 30; 5, Li-Fraumeni syndrome or Cowden syndrome or a first degree relative with one of these syndromes. Which women are at moderately increased, that is 15 to 20% lifetime risk of having breast cancer? 1, lifetime risk of breast cancer of 15 to 20% according to risk assessment tools based mainly on family history. 2, personal history of breast cancer, ductal carcinoma in situ, lobular carcinoma in situ, atypical ductal hyperplasia or atypical lobular hyperplasia. 3, extremely dense breast or unevenly dense breast when viewed by mammograms. According to the Society of Surgical Oncology and American Society for Radiation Oncology, no ink on tumor should be used as the standard for an adequate margin in invasive breast cancer. According to European consensus, a margin width of 2 to 5 mm is recommended. Local recurrence of ductal carcinoma in situ is 1 to 2% per year when treated with breast conservation surgery versus 1 to 2% lifetime when treated with mastectomy. Survival rates with either treatment are the same, 98 to 99%. Reasons to select total mastectomy for the treatment of ductal carcinoma in situ include: 1, diffuse suspicious mammographic calcifications; 2, inability to obtain clear margins with BCS; 3, likelihood of a poor cosmetic result after breast conserving surgery; 4, patient not motivated to comply with follow-up surveillance imaging; 5, contraindications to radiation therapy. Thank you.